What's going on YouTube? Here we are live. Got Robbie Wheaton with me and Sarah Mack over on the computer. We just wanted to, we've been doing a lot of Facebook Live videos. We've been having so much fun over there.
Great time.
Yeah,
Great time.
we have. And we just, really, most of the time we just are answering a lot of questions. And typically we'll have some things we want to talk about. But just, and again, if you're here, I see somebody popping in, just make sure you pop in, let us know you're here. We did not really make this much of an announcement. I did make it an announcement on Facebook Live, and I did make it an announcement on our Patreon account. But guys, I'll tell you, we'll try to get to questions if we can. Like I said, Sarah Mack's kind of following along, but we're just here to have fun.
Have a good time.
And talk
That's
about
right.
guns and gear and all that. So anyway, one thing, I know Robbie's been working on doing kind of a transition for your business.
We have.
And one of the big things that Robbie does at Wheaton Arms, and you guys have seen him on here, a number of times. And in fact, today we went to the range and we missed him. So, but he's transitioning from doing custom gunsmith, custom 1911 builds, rifle builds.
Yeah, we're just we're transitioning our focus from the gunsmithing and our custom firearms that we've been building for about 10 years now, and changing gears of the business and moving more toward our parts and accessories that we manufacture for the Glock pistols, with our barrels and our triggers and guide rods and some other things that we have in the works. So we're just transitioning everything and moving in that direction.
Right, right. And so that is one thing that, of course, we've done a lot of stuff with and, talked about. And I'll tell you guys, I mean, it's just excellent. And his flat face trigger is just awesome. I mean, it's excellent. But, and we may talk about that in a little bit, but, and a lot of people around here are kind of upset because, Robbie does a lot of great work. Yes. Have a question.
Joe Silva says, I got a question, Sootch. When is the first time you got interested in guns and started to really buy them?
I got interested in guns when I was just a little kid. I used to play with guns. My dad bought me a BB gun when I was probably, I think I was 6.
Yeah.
We'd go out and shoot. And
Same way with me. 6 years old, got my first BB gun for Christmas, and had the J.C. Penney fall and winter catalog.
Oh yeah.
That I used to look at guns in every fall, every winter. I'm like, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one, and it's my cap guns and dart guns and everything. I mean, it's literally as far back as I can remember.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's, both of us have had a love affair with guns from the beginning. And then, of course, I started buying guns when I was, 18. And I think my mom even bought a couple before that. Yeah, we have another question.
Sean McKenna asks, smaller handgun, never damage in the hands, and I just can't handle a Glock 19 long. 48 or 43X?
Well, the best thing to do is to put them both in your hands.
Yeah, well, the 43X and the 48, they both got the same grip. The real big thing that you want to look at is the sight radius. The 48 is going to have the same sight radius as a Glock 19, where the 43X is going to have the same shorter sight radius as a Glock 43.
But I think if you put them in your hands, get both of them, and I know right now they're fairly scarce.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, the 48 does shoot a little flatter. It does at the range. It handles just a little bit, but not a whole lot. And the grip makes it really exceptional. So I definitely highly recommend smaller grip, and it's just a great shooting gun.
What do you have on the table?
What do I have on the table? We got, well, we knew we've done this before, and we'd pull some things out, and half the time we wouldn't get to them now because, we really love the questions coming in, and you guys make sure you pipe in. We just have a Palmetto State Armory. This is something I've been working on for a little while, and it's their Freedom AR. And guys, I'm telling you, this is, and the big thing is we wanted to do is to go through one of their really inexpensive ARs. I think this one, they sell it as a lower and an upper separate, and you put them together. It's just the bare basic. I added a Magpul rear sight. This is one of the Primary Arms Cyclops 1X scopes. And these things are like just, I don't even want to quote the price. You can go to Palmetto State Armory and check it because they are well under 500, well below. And the parts, everything we've started testing is just top notch.
Yeah,
so,
it's got all your great bones in it. It's got a 1-in-7 twist barrel with the black nitrided finish on it, which is going to give you a great service life. It's got a Carpenter 158 bolt. It's got a state castle nut on the buffer tube, and your mil-spec buffer assembly in the gun, mil-spec trigger. I mean, it's got all the good bones in it that you expect out of a premium AR-15.
Yeah, so this is excellent. The others we'll get to in a minute. I know we have some questions.
Can you do a review on the Scorpion Evo Micro?
Yes, yes. In fact, I would really like to do that. You know, I'm a big fan of the Evo 3, both the pistol and the carbine, and we've had a big time with them.
Yes.
You know, and
Never forget the first time you shot it and the piece of brass went down the back of your shirt. If y'all missed that video, you need to go back and watch it.
man, I'd forgotten about that.
That was awesome.
That was with without the brace. That
Yes.
was before the SB tactical braces and all that came out. So, but yes. In fact, I am currently working on that now. Getting one. I don't have one yet.
CZ Scorpion or Kriss Vector?
Well, it's just according to what you like, and I mean the Kriss Vector runs quite a bit more.
Yeah, it's a little more expensive.
I really like the guys over at Kriss Vector. I mean the Vector. Those guys, you know, are top notch. Of course, CZ is too. That's tough. The big thing is price, but yet, you know, you have that action that works. You know, that really mitigates the recoil down to about nothing.
Yeah, it is a different recoil impulse, though. It takes a little getting used to.
Yeah. So those are two great guns. You know, it's really one's just more expensive, but there's a lot to consider there.
Are the liberals going to change our rights?
No, the liberals are going to try to, for sure, and they're already trying. One thing that I've been saying this on Facebook Live is I think that they're going to definitely put some bills out there because they have a majority in the House. But Senate's not going to let them pass anything. I sound like a sports newscaster or something. And Donald Trump, you know, I mean, I think he's going to be fine to keep it vetoed down. But here's the thing, guys. If we have a mass shooting, guys, a really serious one, it could change. Everything could change. So don't get comfortable right now. I mean, we really need to get serious about protecting our gun rights. So, yes, we've got to watch ourselves.
How has the 5.11 Covert 18 held up since first trying it out?
Awesome. I mean, the 5.11 Covert, yeah. I mean, it's 5.11 just makes great stuff. In fact, I've been wearing one of their shirts. One of the what is that shirt? I love it, and all day today. And not 5.11, anything that you can find. I mean, they're just really good quality. So yes, good stuff.
Favorite gun manufacturer?
Well, yeah, there's not. I mean,
Glock.
now you started it. You know, there are so many different really excellent companies out there. I mean, you know, I mean, right now I've got a Colt 1911 coming. And, you know, that's incredible, but that's not my carry gun. So, I mean, you know, there's just so many out there. So I can't say that I have a favorite. There's so many
and that's a
flavors.
huge, broad question, too. You know, you've got great handgun manufacturers, you've got great long gun manufacturers, great shotgun manufacturers, and everything in between and price points at every budget level. So,
Right.
you know, there's great guns at every price point, and it's really hard to narrow that down and say this is who I love the most.
Right, that's true.
Glock.
In your opinion, what do you think will be the most sought after carry pistol for 2019?
Either the Glock 48-3 or the 48. I really believe that, just based off of the initial enthusiasm behind those two pistols when they were first released at SHOT Show.
Well,
there's a lot of buzz with those right now.
Yeah, you know, one thing about it though, guys, is sometimes, you know, the G40, the G19X, when it was made, Glock just did it as a thinking, we're going to appease some people that really want it. They had no idea the sales went through the roof on those things, and I think it really started something, and that's one of the reasons why we've seen the G43X. I don't think that that's going to end the Shield or end the, you know, there's a number of different firearms out there. I really wish, you know, Sig. I love the Sig P365. Mine's been great. Mine's been fantastic, but others have had problems. So it's kind of undermined my confidence a little bit. But I really think that we've got some things coming up. I know that new Mossberg looks nice and all, but there's a lot of options out there. So, and I think that's what I always say. We are living in the golden age of firearms, guys. There are so many choices. And in fact, we're getting ready to do a G43X, G43 with accessories and kind of pair some things out for you guys. So that's coming up.
Does AMT make reliable handguns? I have a 380 backup 9.
You know, I used to have some experience with AMT, and
And their quality was kind of hit or miss. They made a lot of good guns early, and
they made a 22 Magnum.
they did the
semi-automatic.
EMT 22. Yep, and then the Automag.
Yep, yep.
Lots of great guns that they made, but some of their guns, the quality was kind of hit or miss on them, especially toward the end. But they're, you know, if you've got one and you take it out and you shoot it and the gun runs reliably, then I wouldn't hesitate to carry it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If it runs, it runs. But I mean, it's been a number of years since I've had any dealings, so might be something to look into.
Yeah, I had a AMT Lightning for several years, and it was a great shooting pistol, cool looking. You know, it kind of looked like a little micro, one of the micro the Magnums that they did. It's
Right.
just a cool looking gun.
Well, it's funny, you know, gun companies come and go. It's like Hudson. I hate that. The Hudson H9. Oh,
Yeah,
just a
that's-
great gun.
I really hope that they're able to find some investors to keep that company going. Those firearms could really, they've got a lot of potential. It's so
Yeah.
soft shooting.
But
such a great
they're
gun.
gonna have to revamp some things though,
Yeah.
obviously, because they've got a lot of people lost some money on that
Yeah.
stuff. Yes.
AR pistol or 16-incher for home defense?
You know, home defense. You know, you want something that's not too big. You know, as far as carrying around.
And I like the 300 Blackout. The 300 Blackout pistols with a shorter barrel and one of the SB Tactical braces. Those are great. The Palmetto State Armory rifles, you know, they make them in 300 Blackout and in 5.56. The 300 Blackout and 5.56 they're awesome rifles, especially for the money. And one thing you always have to consider with a home defense firearm, one is reliability. It has to be reliable. But two, you want the firearm maybe not to cost quite so much, because if it's a super expensive firearm and you do have to use it in a defensive situation, you're going to have to surrender that firearm until the investigation's over. So that's always a consideration.
Yeah, but I think the smaller package makes it kind of nice. You know, if you get it out too long, it can be taken away from you. Sometimes navigating it through rooms.
Right.
So,
40 cal or 9mm for self-defense?
45 ACP. The old 940-45 controversy.
well, you know, 40, you know, a lot of people say 40's dead. They hate 40, 40 sucks, blah, blah, blah. 40's still a good round. The recoil pulse is kind of different. Took me a while to get used to it. But there's going to be a lot of 40 left because there's so many police trade-ins out there. So, guys, I mean, 9mm is making some really high quality, very effective self-defense loads that, you know, can rival about anything now.
That's right. There's 9mm rounds that are pushing 400 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, and you know, that's right there with the 40 caliber. So you're not giving up a whole lot going from 9mm or 40 caliber. Both of them are great defensive rounds.
But you know what? If you feel more comfortable carrying the 40, then carry it. Just like a lot of guys still carry the 45, which is an excellent round as well. So, but I wouldn't feel undergunned with a 9mm.
Yep.
Question: I'm in the adult entertainment biz. Should I invest in a concealed weapon?
Definitely.
I think everyone should take their own safety. It's their personal responsibility to make sure that they're able to protect themselves, no matter what industry you're in.
Yes, definitely. I mean, self-defense is a basic human right.
That's right.
Period. And, you know, the thing is, there are a lot of places that are trying to take that away. Guys, you have a right to defend yourself and your family and the ones you love. So, and I think you need to take self-defense as your personal responsibility.
Absolutely.
So, yes, I definitely believe that.
Do you guys feel that Palmetto Gun Rights is the best local organization to join in South Carolina?
Palmetto Gun Rights does good. I mean, they are. I get their newsletters and stuff, and I've been supporting them off and on, but a lot of times I just forget about it. So, but I think they've done a good job. I know, you know. So yes, I think so. But I also, there's a lot of great organizations out there. So, you know, we need it also on the national level.
Are you going to, or have you reviewed the Taurus TX22 22 long rifle caliber 17 round capacity?
No, I would love to, but you know, those didn't they just come out at SHOT? So
I think so.
Yeah, they're going to be like hen's teeth for a little while.
Yep.
But you know, I can't wait to see how they've done it, because the rim on the 22 is what has kept it from really being able to, you know, for them to pack it in. But you know, they've been doing it with the 10-22 30 round Butler Creek mags and stuff for years. So.
Mm-hmm.
Any plans to review a rifle from Midwest Industries?
Yeah, I mean, I love Midwest Industries. I did a rail. I used one of their rails for the PC9 carbine. I've got some handguard rails. Midwest Industries really makes some good stuff. I've been using their stuff for years.
Me too. Me too. They make top-notch products.
Yeah.
Really, really good stuff.
ADP builder versus polymer 80. Thoughts?
An ADP builder.
Versus the polymer 80.
Yeah, I don't have any experience with the ADPs at all.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. And that would be with a Glock, I'm assuming. So, yeah. I mean, I've had good success with the polymer 80 lower.
I know we've had customers that have used our barrels in the polymer 80s and the ADPs. They've used our barrels, they've used our triggers and our guide rods, and had great success with both platforms.
Okay.
Would you recommend sawback machetes for anyone who's camping and prepping? Also, paintball and air guns for home defense if in a gun-free zone.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, airsoft. I mean, we've done a lot of airsoft. I've been shot with paintballs a million times.
Yeah.
We used to do a lot of that, but that wouldn't stop me. In fact, that would just make me mad.
Not to mention someone that may be high on some kind of methamphetamines or something. Yeah.
Maybe you could get away from somebody like that, but I really can't recommend that. I understand, especially if you're young, and you don't have necessarily the means as well. But, I don't know that, maybe if you could get out of the window or something, but yeah. And as far as sawback machetes, I've had a couple of those over the years, and, hey, it just gives you an extra way to be able to saw through. So, yeah, definitely.
Best 12 gauge ammo for self-defense.
Well, for home defense, birdshot, you've got less penetration with it than you do with buckshot, so you don't have to worry about shooting through walls nearly as much. So I'm a big proponent of number 8 birdshot for home defense.
I guess I better take the number 1 buck out of my shotgun because that's what I carry.
Well, you don't have homes around you nearly as that are super close. So you don't have to worry about shooting through walls, and you don't have young children in the house as well, to where you'd have to worry about someone area of fire where you've got different rooms and people in different rooms.
Right.
So it's not as big a concern for you as it is for a lot of people.
Right.
But if you've got houses close to you, or if you've got younger children in your house, or even older children, and you have to worry about where people are, then you really want to focus on being able to use ammunition that's not going to penetrate quite as much.
Right.
Current EDC.
My current EDC is the same EDC that I've had for 10 years maybe.
Yeah.
I carry the Glock 26 about 80, I'd say 80% of the time, maybe even up to 90%. And the reason why is not because Glock is the best gun ever in the whole wide world, but I've had years and years of experience with Glocks.
Glock 19 for me, but I'm starting to work the 48 into rotation, and it's ask me again in a couple of months and my decision may be different.
Yeah. Well, guys, here's the thing. If you spend thousands of rounds on something, it becomes second nature. And to me, with the new Gen 5, it's just trimmed it down. I mean, the grip's getting a little better and better. So I love a lot of guns. I do carry different guns. I can, in fact, somebody was asking me on Facebook Live, the Rammy. Yes, I do. I like the Rammy. I like the VP9 SC. I like the Walther. And I love the new Smith & Wesson 2.0s. I mean, those, in fact, that was one that I've almost replaced my 26. We've been back and forth, but I still love to carry it. And then I carry a lot of smaller pistols if I need to be really discreet. So,
yeah, Smith made a lot of improvements with that 2.0.
Ooh, I like it. I do like it.
That's a real good gun.
Want to build an AR pistol. What's the difference between an AR pistol and an SBR?
Well, there's, the big thing is the law. if you build an SBR, that's you're going through, your paperwork. You're going through, a really long, weight. But here's the thing, guys, and this is what the ATF will tell you: if you're building a pistol to circumvent especially with a pistol brace, and if you're circumventing the NFA laws, you're not supposed to do that. Now, can they improve that on intent and all that? So, and here we are in a public forum. So I just will say that, the pistol The AR pistol is a lot of fun. It's handy. It's short. According to the ATF, you can occasionally shoulder it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not like if you just touch it to your shoulder, you're going to get in trouble. But if you're buying a pistol just and, you know, to circumvent for an SBR, you know, and you talk about it, you make a big deal about it, well, there you go.
And some things to consider. You can't put a vertical grip on a pistol. You can't obviously put a buttstock on a pistol. The barrel has to be under 16 inches to be considered a pistol. The overall length of the firearm has to be less than 26 inches to be considered a pistol. So, and it's not either or one or the other. It's all of those features are encompassing with building a pistol.
But I like the pistols. I love them. They're short. They're small. You can cross state lines without having to get permission. So I mean, that's just some basic things about it.
Hey Sootch, love the videos, great work.
Thank you.
Do you prefer AKs or ARs for the SHTF?
I'm an AR guy. I mean, I love AK. Don't get me wrong. I love them and I love to shoot them and I do a lot with them. But my go-to rifle is my AR. I can put them together backwards and forwards in my sleep almost.
Yep. They're super easy to work on. They're very reliable. Ammunition you can get everywhere. I'm the same way. The AR is my go-to SHTF rifle.
Now, the thing about the AK is it's freaking, you know, built like a tank and awesome. And I understand. And I love them. I've got them. But as far as really my SHTF go-to rifle, and, you know, because the AK does break sometimes.
Yep.
It's rare, but it breaks. And when it does, it's much more difficult to fix. So, but I'm not criticizing anybody. I think that's a great choice. So,
and price point wise, they're both on a level playing field now. You can get AKs and ARs for about the same price.
But listen, guys, that is just my little preference. It's not. I'm not recommending one or the other. Just for me, I choose the AR.
Do you still have the Ruger LCR 357, and would you still recommend it?
Actually, it's funny because I borrowed that pistol from a buddy of mine, I believe, but yes, in fact, I love that pistol, and I was in Palmetto State Armory last week looking at them again, thinking about picking up one. But yes, I think they're great pistols. I think they're excellent, good quality, and you know, they're lightweight.
Yep, they're great guns. They really are.
What is the awesome AR wooden platform hanging on the wall?
Oh, that is awesome. Yes, that is the Boyd's AR gun stock. In fact, I got a strike from YouTube about put me out on this video for putting on a wood stock on an AR.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went from the black stock to a blue, and they gave me a strike for it. And they still couldn't explain it and would not change it. But this is the Boyd's wood stock. And I do have a video up about it now. They let me re-release it. But that is my favorite stock system, hands down. And Boyd's, I'm telling you, Boyd's is just incredible. I love their stocks.
Yep. They make great stuff, not just for the ARs, but lots of different firearms out there. They make great stuff.
Yeah, the 1022 stock that I had from them, and they did this laser engraving on the, oh my gosh, that stock is absolutely beautiful. Love it. So Boyd's is excellent. And two, I need to mention this, back in the back in case you see all this, this is from Secure-It, and these guys do incredible work. And this makes a beautiful backdrop. But check out Secure-It. They do some really very creative ways to store firearms.
Have you ever been to Virginia, and do you still like the 6.5 Grendel?
Yes, I do like the 6.5 Grendel, and it's funny because I just haven't had an excuse. Of course, Lance, our security guys out there, are barking, but I haven't had an excuse to shoot it lately. So, but yes, I've been to Virginia a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah,
absolutely. The 6.5 Grendel, you know, it gives you 308 performance in a standard AR platform. So you can take your small lightweight AR-15 and have the same performance that you have out of a 308. So it's absolutely one of my favorite cartridges for the standard AR platform.
Yeah. So yeah, I like it. I love it.
BCM or LaRue?
What, as far as guns, does LaRue make them?
Yeah, they do guns.
I know that I've gotten a lot of parts from LaRue. Okay, here's the thing for me. I like LaRue parts. I don't know much about their rifles, but I do know about BCM, and that's honestly, that would be my go-to AR-15. In fact, it is. I have one of the Recce's, and that is my go-to AR. Paul Buffoni over at BCM is a huge, strong supporter of the Second Amendment. I love him, and he's there. He's just a great, and he really. I mean, you know, when you have Larry Vickers and Travis Haley and other really great names that put their name behind a lot of the stuff that he does.
Yeah, we've used BCM parts for years. They make outstanding handguards, and you know, just all of the parts that they build all together for their rifles are just top notch. I would recommend BCM for any of your AR needs.
Yeah. Not that there are not a lot of other good ones, Daniel Defense, and LaRue Tactical does some great stuff, but yeah, BCM is just really, I like BCM.
Yep.
Can you do a 2,000 round test on SIG P365?
Well, I know that from everything that I've seen, that just means a death knell. And you know, yeah, I mean, yeah, we could do it, and we've put. I think I've already put about. I can't remember now. It's been about 600 or 700 rounds, maybe more, because we've shot
I was thinking
quite a bit.
500 at a minimum that we've put through yours so far.
We hadn't had any problems. And some of the telltale signs are marks on the back of the magazine and some other things. We've checked all that. We haven't had a problem. But you've said that there's, you know, because Robbie has done a lot of gun work, and he said they've come in, you know, broken parts.
I had 2 phone calls about them today.
Yeah.
So just right before I came over to start the video, I had 2 phone calls about them.
So hopefully, you know, I love the pistol. I love the size of it. I love it. So hopefully, but mine's been fine. So, and I don't know that I want to shoot it all. So yeah, I don't know.
I enjoyed your review on the P365. Do you still think it's concealed carry perfection?
Yeah, if they'd fix it. Yeah, I mean, it is freaking just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a game changer. I mean, it's a freaking game. You know, and the thing is it's, you know, because we were doing some comparisons with the G43X, and you know, even the G43, you know, it's the same size as the G43 with 10 rounds or 12 rounds, as much as the G43X. So, and it's SIG, you know, which I know SIG lately has had a couple of hiccups, but you know, everybody forgets about the Beretta slides that broke when they were first introduced. You know, there's always a rush and a problem, but. I'm not trying to give any outs, but I'll tell you, SIG, really with this one, they're going to have to figure out what's going on. It's going to be a very difficult process, you know, but they're working on it. I can promise you that.
Yep.
So.
What do you think about the tactical pontoon triggers?
Don't know about those.
I don't have any experience with it.
Oh,
no.
Sorry. I'll have to look it up.
Quality, affordable bullpup.
Rifle or shotgun?
Oh no.
Is theirs?
Well, you know, my favorite is the Galil. And I don't have the X95. I have the original. I love that rifle, but that's not really as affordable as some. I think, you know, Keltec. Keltec makes, but I don't know that they're much less.
Yeah.
I mean, they've really stepped up in a lot of different places.
Yeah, I'm left-handed, so most of the bullpups don't work for me because they eject out the right side, which for some reason jams all the time when I shoot it. But
maybe I don't know of a really affordable bullpup that you know, they're usually they're not any good if they're just really inexpensive because the way they're designed. But you know, maybe I'm having a brain fart because I'll tell you, it's like. We were excited about getting this done today, but we had dinner right before. We came running in, and we put it together. So thank goodness Sarah Mack was over there because she really put all this together. So, okay, baby.
Pocket dump, gear check from each of you, please and thank you.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm getting ready to do a new EDC video, but yeah, let's see. Well, I got the Benchmade Barrage, which I've been carrying about 45,000. What am I doing standing up? Olight copper. I think this is the S Mini. And then my key bar copper, which I love. And this is one of the Pilot little gel pens. And then I got 47 of those. And always carry a 5.56 round in my pocket. Now, it's funny. I got one of the little, and then also, I've got one of the Griffin, this is the Griffin tool, and this is a buddy of mine, Casey. I love him, and this is he makes some really cool tools, and I've started carrying this on my key ring, and then I have one of the Olight i3E EOS that is like tiny but super bright. Sorry, sis.
It's right in my face.
You know, and of course I have now this is something I've been doing lately is carrying, I got me a new just leather simple billfold. I love this thing. So that's something new for me. But I am getting ready to do a complete EDC, and I've revamped some things and changed it, and even replaced my barrage, but you'll laugh when you see what I've replaced it with. But yeah, that's
Yeah, my keychain, unfortunately, unlike Don's, is very, very plain and simple with my little pink hook on there. Kind of embarrassed to show you guys that, but hey, you asked, so you get to see it. And like with Don, I replaced my wallet pretty recently with one from Cook's Wallets.
Wow, that's a
super
big
great.
wallet.
It folds out, so it's flat. You got your spots for all your cards and a little spot on the inside here where you can put a passport. You can tuck your passport in on the inside and keep it in your wallet. So, you know, I'm a bigger guy, so it's easy for me to carry a big wallet like that. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, so there you go.
Any plans on doing anything with the 350 Legend?
I got nothing. I've got nothing.
No, not right now.
Crazy question. Why isn't Glock making a PCC?
Because Glock does what Glock does. You know, they, I mean, the thing is, and I've said this a number of times, and it's hilarious when I hear people go, well, Glock ain't done anything, you know, new, and ever since the beginning, they're just making modifications. You know, they've done, what, it was like 53 changes from the Glock 40, I mean, the Gen 4 to the Gen 5. I mean, internal changes. But here's the thing, guys, for me, and I know you didn't ask this, but I'm just going to say this, then I'm going to answer your question. Let's keep Glock a Glock. That's what it's not, you know, it's just keep Glock a Glock. There's 1,000 other choices out there. Now, as far as a pistol caliber carbine, it's possible. It is possible. Just gonna say that. I do work some. I mean, well, Glock sends me Glocks when they're new released, and I pay for them, and I buy every one of them.
And I have to say, if Glock decided to release a PCC carbine, they would really, really have to come out with something that was over the top, because the Ruger PCC is an awesome rifle for the money, and then the Sig MPX is another one that is just a tremendous 9mm.
So it's possible. It's possible.
CMMG in 5.7 or the FNPS 90?
No, now,
Man,
well,
that's a tough one.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I love CMMG and I love that rifle. And they, you know, I had one for review and I had to return it. But you know, there was a ton of different ammo choices. It was cool. And if I would have had an FN57 pistol, I would have kept it. But the P90, I want one of those. I mean, it's been on my dream list.
So I love the CMMG 5.7 with the magazines that go on top. You take a standard 30-round magazine and you gut it and you stick it in the mag well, and it dumps all of the brass as you're shooting. It ejects into the mag well, so you've got a brass catcher to catch all of your brass. You've got the standard controls of the AR platform that everyone's already familiar with, so you're not reinventing the wheel as far as a manual of arms. So for me, I would go with the CMMG over the PS90.
Now you're talking about one of the conversions with the
well,
CMMG makes a standard AR that uses the 5.7 magazines.
okay.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. But I know what you're talking about,
I
and that's cool.
I like the other one better.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I do. I got a buddy of mine that's got one, and you can put the drum magazine on top. It'll insert it, and it will shoot them down.
Yep.
But the CMMG, they do a standard AR.
A standard
and they
AR.
use the FN 5.7
Yep.
mags.
Yeah, probably PS90 then.
PS90 is cool. I love it. I'd love to get one.
What do you think about the Venezuela-U.S.-Russia situation?
I think the U.S. should have enacted some sanctions on them a lot sooner.
What is that, the Monroe Doctrine? I mean, you know, what
I
happened
think
with
they
that?
should have pulled out a lot sooner from doing anything with Venezuela until they can get that under control.
Yeah, there are people that are really dying down there. But I don't know. You know, I've watched. In fact, I watched a documentary today about those people down there, and it's horrible. But I don't know. You know, there's also sovereign nation problems. But you know, I think it's all horrible.
I've got some friends from Venezuela that own some ranches, and about 6 or 7 years ago, the government came in and literally took everything from them, took all of their ranches, all of their cattle, everything, and lost everything that they owned. So it's just a horrible situation with what's going on down there.
Yeah. How are we on time?
Oh,
We got to go good, man. We've been answering questions like crazy. Okay.
Do you own a P365 or did you just have one for testing?
No, I own it. In fact, Nate at Gun Pro Deals sent it to me, and we worked out something where I was able to keep it. But yeah, and guys, I love it. I love the pistol, and I just have, my confidence has been kind of taken just because of just other people having issues. So, but mine's been fine. So, but again, when it comes down to life and death situations, what can go wrong will go wrong. But yes, I still own it.
And I don't own one yet. I'm waiting on SIG to get the bugs worked out with it, and I'll probably wait for the Gen 2 to come out when they get the bugs squared away before I buy one.
Yeah.
Favorite hard liquor?
6 and 20 old money.
I'm not a drink. I do drink beer, but I don't. I'm not a big liquor drinker, and part of the reason why is because when I was younger, I did, and I was Jack Daniels, and I have quite a considerable amount of Cherokee in me, and so sometimes it wouldn't be good. I get a little fired up. So no, I don't. But yeah.
What do you do other than guns, gear, and prep?
There ain't no room for anything else. Guys, I'll tell you.
He sleeps.
We got my Sensible Prepper channel has 400 and something, 420,000 subscribers, and Sootch has 700 and almost 800, whatever. I mean, that's 1.1 million to whatever. Yeah, I stay extremely busy. In fact, we were talking about this the other day. I work. If I take a day off during the week, I'm working 60 hours a week. So I work a lot, but I work right here at home. I have my office, my setup. I have even a smaller range, and we do go to the range quite a bit. And to go up to Robbie's and pick up transfers when he gets guns in for me. But yeah,
you basically work 2 full-time jobs.
Pretty much. But it's awesome. I love it. I've never worked any harder, but I haven't loved it. I mean, I've been doing this for about 6 years maybe. We've been trying to figure it out. I've been doing YouTube for 11 years. So if I'm not full-time by now, I don't know. I guess I should have quit long ago. Even though YouTube, has screwed us pretty much, and that's another story.
Do you think more people should be training for the use of their given rifle as opposed to square range shooting?
Oh yeah, I think you need to be able to. That was one thing that when I started doing competitive shooting, that really and that's been about almost 25, 30 years ago when I started. Now we did that for a number of years. That will completely transform your shooting. Completely.
Yeah.
Because you're big.
Square range is great for working on fundamentals, trigger control, sight alignment, sight picture, and that sort of thing. But you really need to get outside of the square range to be able to work on on a lot of other skills, with shooting on the move and a lot of drills that you can work on that you just can't do in a square range.
So going to a really good class it will train. I'm telling you, if you've never done it before, going to a real reputable class would be great.
Yep.
But in fact, we're going to be going to Jaeger's. I've been telling him forever, and we're going to be doing some training with him. And the thing is you go one time and you will go, oh my gosh, So I'll tell you, everybody needs to try it.
Yep.
It'll transform the way you think about things.
Yeah, a good instructor will identify deficiencies in your training very quickly and send you home with a lot of things to work on.
Yeah. Yes.
What gun did you get rid of that you wish you still had?
My HK G3 that was a collapsible stock. My Colt Gold Cup.
Yeah, maybe I had a new in the box Python 357.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had that one back.
Yeah, that would be something. Yeah, there's a ton. In fact, I used to have a couple of other Garands. I do have a Garand now, but that was one that I always hated to get rid of. So I mean, every gun I've ever gotten rid of, I hated that I gotten rid of it. There's very few that I haven't. There are a couple.
Yeah, I've got rid of a few that I was glad to see go.
Yeah.
They didn't fit me well.
I am interested in a Grand Power. For a range gun, would you prefer a Q100 or a K100, striker or DSA?
Yeah, I'll tell you, those are excellent guns. Yeah. Grand Power. There's just and it's just so unique. There's something about that lockup. I love Grand Power. It's just according to if you like hammer fired pistols, or striker fire.
Yeah.
I mean, the striker on the Q is a little different, but I really like it. I mean, it's just different, and the smoothness and the way they do the finish on them. I don't know. There's something about Grand Power that I just like. In fact, I have the Streebog back here, right here, and Grand Power just make great guns, and I love. So yes, it's just according if you like hammer or striker fire.
Do you think there will be a 26X?
Nah, I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt that they'll make a longer slide for the 26. Do you think
probably
so?
not. I mean, they've got the 26 Gen 5, but who knows with Glock?
Who knows?
You just
Lately,
never know
that's
what you're
true.
gonna get.
But you know, the thing is the G43X is really the same silhouette as the 26, but yet with a longer grip.
What was it that Forrest Gump said? Life's like a box of chocolates.
Glock's like a box of chocolates. Which, hey, you know, it's like I said, man, Glock, you know, they send me guns every once in a while, and I have to pay, and it's not really a huge discount, and I buy every one. So,
What do you like better, the G45 or a G17 for home defense?
I want to tell you, the G45 and the G19X, that is my home defense. That's on my nightstand. Actually, it's not right there right now because we got cousins over, but that is my gun. I go to bed. That's on my nightstand.
Yeah, I've got a 17 in my nightstand, just because I had one laying around. I was like, hey, it'd be a good place to put it in my nightstand. I'll never see it again. But yeah, I've got the 17.
Yeah, either one is excellent. You got a lot of rounds.
That's right.
I just prefer the way that the G19X and the G45. I prefer the way they shoot now. It's just been sweet. Yes.
About how many rounds do you have through the Henry U.S. Survival Rifle, and any issues to be concerned with?
No, I don't even know. I've got 3. I gave one to my youngest son, who just loves it, and we've shot a lot of rounds out of there. I would say though that's a good rifle. I mean, it's a good solid rifle, and it would be great for survival. But I don't know that you'd want to put thousands of rounds through it. I mean,
Yeah, it's got the aluminum sleeve barrel in it. And hey, Henry, just throwing this out there, if y'all are listening, please, please, please release that firearm with a threaded barrel. For those of us that like to run a can on them, that would just be most
that would be
awesome.
kind of sweet.
And make another little pocket in the stock to tuck my suppressor away. I'm just saying.
Well, I love the rifles. I had one of the original Charter Arms, and in fact, it wasn't even mine. It was a buddy of mine's, and I had all kind of problems with that thing. We had problems all the time. Once Henry, though, the 3 that are now that I got 2, one of them Grant's got, but great. They're just solid, and they're easy to stow, and you know they get you through. So I love them.
Yeah.
They're just cool.
Just an iconic, super cool rifle. I mean, it's like a Uzi from the 80s.
Yeah. Every time I see that thing, you know, I'm like, that's cool. Got to break it out and shoot it.
Yep.
What do you think about the Kriss Sphinx SDP Compact?
I love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, Kriss, the Sphinx is just, it's incredible. And it's CZ design, but it's like the top of the top.
Yep.
That is one gun, too, that I carry on a regular basis. If you know, it's just one of those guns. In fact, I was looking at it the other day, and I thought, oh, I need to get that back out, because that is just a sweet shooting handgun, and the quality is over the top. So, yeah, I have high regard, very high regard.
Yeah, lots of bar stock parts in the gun. I mean, it's they spend the money on quality parts and quality tooling and machining on those guns. They're absolutely top notch.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best gun to start a child?
22. Well, I mean, unless you want to start them out with a BB gun.
Yeah.
You know, a little Red Ryder or something like that.
Yeah, kind of depends on the age and their. You know, I started my boys off with with dart guns, and then with BB guns, and then progressed up to 22s. And start teaching muzzle awareness and keeping your finger off the trigger and at a young age, and then moving on from there and progressing from there.
Right. But anytime you want to take new shooters out, don't give them. I mean, it's just my opinion, but some guys like to kind of laugh and give somebody something that just.
Yeah.
We're trying to win these people over, not trying to get a good laugh. And I really like to start people out with a 22. And even maybe at that same range session, we did this a while back, had some people over. My cousin came into town. There was a bunch of people, never had shot before. We just lined them up, started them out with 22, and they moved right up, to 9mm to 40, 45. It was, we kind of went through the gamut. But 22 is an excellent low recoil, low muzzle blast, and low noise really compared to the others. So
I agree 100%. 100%.
43X or the P938 Legion?
The P938. Well, that's just, I haven't really messed around that much with the P30. The P938 Legion. But I have messed around with the Glock 43X, and
yeah, I think it really, you've got to look at price point. The Legion's quite a bit more expensive. The Glock is a lot more affordable. Reliability wise, I would say it's a wash between the two. They're both great guns, and if you're looking for something that's a little higher end, a little nicer looking gun, that's got a little more, a few more bells and whistles, the SIG would be a great one. If you're looking for something that's just going to work, the Glock is a hard one to beat.
there you go. That's from the man.
Just the man beside the man.
Why has the NRA and Republican Party abandoned gun advocacy?
I'll let you take this one.
Look, I'm not pleased with the NRA for sure, and the NRA is really, and as far as this bump stock thing goes, and Trump, it's, this is a rule of law country, and I made a video about it. Here's the thing, guys. GOA has their skill set. They do great things. They are awesome. There's so many. I know Larry Pratt. I've met Eric Pratt recently, and great organization. They do certain things, but the NRA also has its skill set, and they do certain things, and they have a lot of inroads into Washington. And there are a lot of people out there right now that are very upset with the NRA, and me, and I'm included. I would not. Here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna tell you, if we have a mass shooting between now and whenever we get this Democratic Congress hopefully turned around, if we have a mass shooting, we're going to lose everything. We're going to lose them. So, I called a big YouTuber a while back. This buddy of mine, told him, I said, "Are you trying to destroy?" Because if we have a mass shooting, a really serious one, with this Democratic Congress, we may lose AR-15s. So, it's a bad situation all the way around. But I'm a life member at NRA. I'm a benefactor. I love it. I don't like some of the things that have gone on there, and I'm going to fight to change it. But I'm not abandoning it because.
And the NRA is still our biggest lobby in Washington.
They are.
They are
And
still
here's
the
the thing,
loudest
guys.
voice that we have in Washington.
Yeah.
And we can't turn our backs on them.
They don't do everything right. There's no doubt.
Yep.
But divided we fall. And I don't know. I know because I've seen a lot of comments about all this, and I know there's no winning this argument. And I know a lot of people get mad on either side, but I'm just telling you, we have a mass shooting, and and then we're going to be SOL. So if we don't have a strong fight to put up.
Preferred carry ammo for the 38 Special?
Well, let's see. What have I carried in my 30? I'll have a Centennial that I love, Smith & Wesson. The 440, 442. I've had that for years. I think I was carrying some federal 158 grain.
The Hydra shocks.
Yeah,
the Hydra shocks are hard to
or,
beat. The
Spear,
the gold dots.
the Hornady Critical Defense. Those are really three different rounds that I use.
Yep.
In fact, we just did some stuff with the Critical Defense Hornady. And I have some. I went and picked up some Spear Gold Dot, not 38 Special, but I would say that. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel undergunned with any of those 3 cartridges.
Yeah, those are great.
Is the 10mm comeback peaking, or will it go a lot further?
I think the 10, we've saw it for years. You see an ebb and flow in popularity with the 10mm, and as long as firearms manufacturers are producing quality guns in 10mm, people are always going to be interested in that cartridge. It's a great round for personal defense. It's a great round, if you're hiking and want a firearm for bear. It's a tremendous cartridge, and you can still reload it and really get a lot more performance out of that round than you can with a lot of the factory ammo that's out there.
Well, I think that, I mean, people get excited about 10mm, and whenever anybody comes out with something new.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see it. I don't know that it's actually peaking. I think it's just kind of established somewhat of itself, and I think big gun companies now are putting them out. So what I'm really looking forward to is when Glock releases their Gen 5 Model 20. And I mean, because to me, the grip on the Model 20 right now, my Gen 3 is like massive, and I would like for them to just really narrow it down.
Opinions on the 450 Bushmaster cartridge?
Well, I've got,
It's a shoulder thumper.
yes, and I've got a James River Armory, which they're going to, well, Buell Defense. Buell Defense sent me one in 450 Bushmaster, one of their M14s. Oh, it's beautiful. Just to do a review. I had a hard time finding ammunition. I got Ben from Classic Firearms. I said, hey, would you, I can't find the ammunition. So he sent me some ammunition. And that review, I should have already had it done. But my schedule is crazola. But I think it's incredible.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's just incredible.
it's a great hunting cartridge. Whether it's deer or pigs or bear, it's a great hunting cartridge.
So more information coming, hopefully.
Thoughts on what is going on with the Hudson?
Well, from what I understand, Hudson's they're looking for investors right now. Is what the latest that I've saw with it. They're looking for some investors to come in, maybe even some angel investors to come in and really help give them a cash inflow to help keep that company going. And so they've had some issues, some quality issues with parts, some supplier issues with parts, and then they've had some investor issues as well. And they're trying to resolve all of that right now. So don't give up on Hudson yet. I don't think they've gone away. We'll just have to wait and see what plays out with them long term.
Well, I'm glad that you said that, because for me, I've been, I had started already looking, and they were kind of dormant on social media, and so and then at SHOT Show they didn't show, and then people were saying they're out. So that's the first I've heard that. So thank you, Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my Hudson. I'll tell you, that Hudson H9, mine. We've put over 1,000 rounds through it,
Yeah.
and we had a little bit of malfunction at 800 because it was getting dirty.
Mm-hmm.
We cleaned it. We've had nothing but good success. But then I hear that some of those problems coming on down the line. But when I heard that Hudson was having real problems, that they may go out of business, I just put mine back in the safe and I said, I'm gonna baby it. But I hope they do, because that is one of the best shooting guns I've ever had.
First firearm ever owned. My dad got me a Marlin Model 60 when I was 8.
That's cool. My grandfather took me out and bought a little Stevens bolt action single shot 22. Bought it at a flea market, the Pickens Flea Market, which is a market they have every Wednesday. He took me there. I was just a kid, and he bought me that, and that was my very first.
J.C. Higgins bolt action 3-shot shotgun.
Oh,
410.
Oh, there you go.
410.
There you go.
With the polychoke.
Yeah, well, that's a good choice there. And then I think one of my, what was funny is my very first actual purchase that I made for myself, as far as for a handgun, was a Rossi Model 88 3-inch 38 Special. And I shot over 2,000 rounds of reloads through that thing. We reloaded all the time.
My first pistol that I bought for myself was a Springfield Armory 1911.
Oh Lord! Well,
And,
you jumped way ahead of
yeah.
me.
And so the only original part left on the gun. I still own it today. And the only original part left on the gun is the frame. I've replaced everything on it. You know, it was a mil-spec gun, so I cut the beaver tail down and put a real beaver tail on it and checkered the front strap and a different slide and a cart barrel, and I mean it's just. But kind of the same.
That's Robbie.
And I've reloaded for it. It's 45 ACP. I've reloaded for it for years, and I could not tell you how many thousands of rounds I've put through that gun.
Reloading 9mm with small Magnum pistol primers safe? Question mark.
Yes, I use small rifle primers in all of my 9mm stuff. Depending on the powder that you use, you can get anywhere from 15 to 30 feet per second more velocity with a harder primer and the hotter primer. One thing you do have to look out for is with the thicker primer cups, you could get light primer strikes if you're running a real light striker spring in a pistol.
And that's why Robbie Wheaton is sitting right here.
John Wick or Clint Eastwood?
Clint Eastwood for longevity, John Wick for...
Just kicking an absolute 50,000 people's butts at once.
Yes, sir.
Yes. But also, Clint Eastwood just for sheer cool attitude.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, well, they're great. I love Keanu Reeves, though. He's...
Clint Eastwood marathon, yeah, it's all weekend long, all right? John Wick marathon, and you're going to the house in 3 hours.
Yeah.
So...
Do you still talk to Nothing Fancy, and any plans on shooting with him again in the future?
You know, I haven't. We keep up every once in a while. You know, he's very busy. He honestly was one of my major inspirations getting started on YouTube, and still really have very high regard for him. You know, we used to talk all the time, but he's busy. He does a lot of different things, and we're busy. But we did talk a couple of months ago. But I think it was through text. But you know, if I text him, he'll you know, we kind of back and forth, and I support him on Patreon, and just because he puts together a lot of cool stuff. So Nothing Fancy. He's a great. If I had an opportunity to, you know, yeah, I would. Speaking of which, one thing I do want to mention, and I know we should have probably mentioned this early, is Classic Firearms is giving away, you know, the BAR M1918A3. All right, A3. 30-06. It's in semi-automatic. It's made by Ohio Ordnance Works. Well, the winner, they called me yesterday, and I know I put some of this out already, but the winner, of course, you know, is going to get to come down here and shoot with Sootch. So,
nice.
And, yeah, I hadn't even told Robbie about it. Robbie will be there too, I'm sure. And we're going to do some shooting. This rifle's like $5,000 for this thing. But anyway, Classic Firearms is going to do it. And it's just really cool because, you know, Ben just called me, said, hey, you know, what do you think? I said, come on, let's just do it. So, anyway, you guys go enter over at Classic Firearms.
Those 1919s are awesome rifles, too. I mean, that was a firearm that was carried by men when men were men. Yeah, I mean, there's probably most people in this country right now that wouldn't even be, you know, capable of shooting a firearm.
Oh, it's 20 pounds.
Well, they're a beast. They are a beast.
Okay, what's this? This is we get sidetracked, squirrel.
Sootch, what caliber do you recommend for a repeater other than 22?
For a repeater, like a little semi-automatic, or maybe a lever action repeater. I mean, there's a lot of 22. I'll tell you now, if you like a little lever action, a little 357 Magnum or 44 Magnum.
Oh yeah,
those are a lot of fun, and yet they still have decent ballistic capability. Or, you know, even 20, well, you said 22 Magnum. Yeah, I mean, if you want to jump up into that, that's really where I would go with that. Now, if you want something that's just semi-automatic in a little carbine form, 9mm, cool.
Yeah, Ruger PCC in that case.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope that answered your question.
If you had to pick one gun for every situation.
Well, the reason why they make shotguns, rifles, pistols, you know, is because there are multiple situations that they make them for, or different reasons.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and this is one thing I'll just say. If I only had one gun, and a lot of people are going to disagree with this, is it would be a handgun. If I could only have one, and it would be a Glock 19. And the reason why is because, yeah, the only reason you have a handgun is to get to your rifle. I understand that. But if, let's say that we need to get, I'm in a bug out situation, or I'm you know, trying to on the lam or whatever. I mean, you know, there's so many scenarios of really needing to get going. I can't hide an AR-15 on my body in plain view of everybody, but with a handgun, I can hide it. I can be discreet, and I can move out. That's just the one reason. The one reason. Now, it's underpowered compared to a rifle. It's, you know, rifle definitely would be my choice to have. But if I could only have one, you know, that's my deal.
I'm going on the long gun.
Well, you're 6'4" too. You could probably hide that thing in your pants.
I could conceal carry the AR-15.
Yeah, you could not. He's full of bull. Okay, so am I.
One more question, and then we are at 9.
Okay, one more. Sorry, guys, but yeah, okay.
Would you recommend night sights on your home defense gun?
Yes.
No.
No, you hush. I know he don't like them. To me, night sights, that is that is on my handgun. You know, now if you have one of the reflex sights or one of the micro red dots, but even then, to me, I like having those sights. Not, and I'll tell you why. Because we had one time one of our neighbors, her husband was a doctor. He was out of town. They lived down the road from us. This was when we still lived in North Carolina, and he called me. It was like 1 a.m. He called me and said, you know, Chrissy's at home and somebody's in the house. And I grabbed my Glock, and for some reason I had been cleaning it. It was unloaded. So my wife's driving, and I'm over in the seat loading these magazines as fast as I can. We pull up. I jump out. I run around the corner. There's this girl. She's about this tall. She's blonde, blue eyes. You know, she's got a 40 caliber doing this. And I said, whoa, Christy, it's me. So she put it down. Well, then when I went to look through the house, and I went around the house, those night sights, I knew exactly where my front sight was, and that blackness. I mean, that was more, and the only reason I'm saying all that is because that was actually I remember seeing those night sights at that time, and I said, I will never not have a pair of night sights on my handgun in a situation like this. That's just my...
For a firearm at night, I run either black sights or fiber optic sights on it, and I've got a good flashlight on my pistol.
Yeah.
The way that I look at it is I have to be able to see what I'm going to shoot. I need to be able to identify something that I may have to pull the trigger on. So I want a good flashlight that's going to light up the area and light up anything that's going to be in front of me. And the sights at that point they're there on the firearm for their intended purpose, but the flashlight is what I use to be able to identify what I may have to shoot.
He's such a smarty pants, you know that? I'm still going to put night sights on my gun. Yeah, I like lights on my gun, and that's true. You do need to be able to. Okay, guys, thanks. I know this was a little bit of a surprise. I know we kind of let it leak a little bit. Have no idea what kind of response we've gotten here. But we're going to start trying to do these more often. I'm not going to tell you we're going to do it every Thursday because, but we are doing Facebook Live every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. So check that out. We've had so much fun. Huh?
Eastern time.
Eastern Standard Time. So, you know, we're just enjoying it, having fun, again, getting able to answer your questions right here. So thanks so much for stopping by, guys. And I'm sure we'll make this. We have never done this before, so this on YouTube. And so I'm sure we'll make this live for everybody to see. But just appreciate big time Robbie Wheaton coming in from Wheaton Arms. Guys, check out his Glock parts and accessories.
I appreciate the invitation. It's been a good time, as always.
Well, and you know, Robbie and I shoot so much at the range and everything. And Sarah Mack over there, moderating over there was beautiful. She's just a big help. And of course, she's beautiful like her mama. But anyway, guys, y'all take care. Thanks again. And be strong, be of good courage.